Alright, I'm making this video to hopefully help out guys that are just starting off trying to learn how to fly. One in particular lately that's been having a little difficulty, James Henry. I hope this helps you. It's not sexy, it's not going to go viral on YouTube or anything like that, but it's very necessary if you're ever going to progress. And here's your first exercise. Any kitchen, any little small quad, and here we go. And this is pretty much it. I hope you can see it. Hovering. You can do this inside. You have to make very small, fine control adjustments to be able to hold it still. And they sound counterintuitive because what you really want to do is go, but I'm telling you, it's easy to make it go. All you got to do is push the stick. But at some point, you got to stop going. Okay? And this is how you learn to do that. You got to just hover. You can do it inside. You don't have to worry too much about the wind, although it's kind of hard to trim because, you know, walls and things, you get a lot of prop wash off of it. You can move around a little bit and you'll get there. But the first point, the first exercise really is to not move. And then eventually, with enough practice of that and a little bit more of what I'll show you outside in a little bit, you get something like this. You get to move around, but you have to be able to stop moving. That's the point. And this is the part that it seems like a lot of people don't want to put the time into, and you really have to. A lot of batteries. I still do it sometimes just because it's good warm-up, for one thing, and it's also teaches you those fine control skills that you need to be able to do other things later on that are a lot more fun. But if you can't do this first, you really won't be able to do that. And I also have a different philosophy about training. Some guys say just, you know, throw them in the air, and if you ain't crashing, you ain't learning. I don't believe that. I never learned anything from a crash except how much it cost to fix or replace what I broke. For my philosophy of flying is to not crash, to be able to fly successfully, move around wherever I want, return to my starting point or any other point, stop moving. My philosophy of flying is to be in control all the time and not crash. Now, having said that, everybody does. Sooner or later you will. But your goal should be to minimize that. Precision and speed and things like that, that'll all come. But the first step is to learn to fly. And to learn to fly, you got to be able to make it stop moving. Alright, so that's step one. I got some batteries charging in a little bit. I'll take my Aton outside and show you that figure eight drill I was talking about. I hope this helps, and I'll see you there. Alright, this is the second segment. James Henry, this is mostly for you, but it worked for anybody that's trying to learn how to fly. Now, after the first segment, before I got started right here, I read a comment that you made on that thread. You want to know if there's any way to slow that thing down, and that was the point of the first segment, is you've got to be able to come to a stop and slow down. The short answer is yes, and the best way to explain that is to tell you that you need that fine control with your thumbs where you don't push very hard on the stick. It's easy to get going. It's not quite as easy to slow it down, and that's what you have to work on first, and that's kind of what I'm trying to show you here. Now, I've got everything ready to go. The GPS is locked. I'm in film mode, so let's see if we can do this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And this is just exactly how I learned to fly. First I'll arm it, chirp, and there's my motor spinning. You go up. I'm going to back up a little bit. Hopefully you can see this all right. Move film mode here. Move throttle up to about 50. Oh, it disarmed. I waited too long. Disarm it again. There we go. Move throttle up to about 50. And Aton just jumps up right about there. Now this is the beauty of Aton. It's doing a lot of the work for you right here. You can see I'm not doing anything. It's doing it. And that's kind of what you want in the beginning, because there's an awful lot going on, and unless or until you get a chance to figure out what's happening, how much and when, it's very difficult. Now, at this point, just move it around a little bit. Get used to the way it feels, how much it moves when you move the stick, and I'm not moving the stick very much. Just push it around a little bit, feel it out. If you move the throttle up a hair, it'll start beeping a high tone and it'll rise. You get back to 50, it'll stop. Pull it down a little bit, you get a little bit lower tone and it comes down. You go back to the middle around 50, it stops. Sport mode, it's not like that. You have to control your altitude. You let go here and Aton does it for you. Now, once you get pretty comfortable like this, just turn it, push it some way, slowly, a little bit, and practice turning. This is what you need to do. Now, as it's coming back toward me here, all I have to do is push right instead of left, and it'll turn this way. See this? This simple maneuver is everything you need to do in order to be able to do any other kind of flying. Left turns, right turns, nose in, nose out. But Aton's doing some of the work for you so that you don't have to worry so much about the altitude. And anytime you want to slow down, just let go of the stick. And there you are. Now you can see it's going up. Pull it back to middle, stops going up. Bring it down a little bit. I hope you can hear that lower beep. Go back to middle, there it is. If you really get in a jam, this right button air brakes. See, it'll just stop right where it is. You let go and you're good to go. Now, it's coming toward me now. A little bit of right and a little bit of right rudder. Let it come back. A little bit of left, roll and rudder. This is something you really have to be able to do in order to do everything else. And actually, everything that you're doing here is everything that you need to be able to do anything else. Now, my rates are turned up a little bit. I can start pushing it around a little bit now if I want to, but only because I spent a lot of time doing what I just showed you there. Now, that's max rate in film mode. You're probably at the minimum rates, and that's a good place for you to be for a little while, but you can turn it up as you go. You don't have to stay like this forever. See, just a circle. Just a circle. Nice and easy. And eventually, you get to where you're doing other things. You start playing with it. It becomes fun. But at first, it's stressful. Seems like hard work. And what you want to do is take as much of that stress off of yourself as you can, and that's what film mode is good for, because all you got to do is let it go, and it'll pretty much sit still for you. Just move it around, slow and easy. That's really all there is to it. Just slow and easy. Take your time. There's nothing more to it than that. I've already told you how I feel about crashing. I don't think you learn anything from a crash, except how much it costs to fix whatever you broke. I personally destroyed 3 less expensive quads before I bought an Aton and learned how to fly, and I'm telling you, I spent days doing just this. It's flying. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous, but it's flying, and it develops the skill you need to be able to do the things you want to be able to do. You have to walk before you run. You really have to put in the work. Now, the end result is the fun stuff. I'm going to switch into film mode. Or I'm sorry, into sport mode. Push it down here a little bit, because I know this is what you're after. Oop, apparently I didn't get it in sport mode. It's not changing modes for me. Hang on a second. Let's set her down. Another good thing to learn to do is to set down gently. Now let's see if I can. There it is. There's sport mode. That says fast. Expert. Now let's see if this does it.
Armed. Active mode.
Now see, in sport mode here, I have to be in control of the throttle, the altitude, all of that stuff. There you go. See, that's what you want to be able to do. I know it, you know it. And it's not like you can't do it. It's like you can't do it right out of the box. It takes that slow, fine, easy work, the boring stuff, to get to the fun stuff. And see, even in this, yes, you can slow down. You have to be able to make it go easy. This is what I like about Aton. It will go slow. Alias too. It's just a little more difficult with Alias because you don't have any assistance whatsoever. It's on you from the beginning. But this is it right here. This is pretty much what you got to do. Figure eights, little racetrack patterns. Nice and easy. Learn to feel your controls so that you have some idea what's going to happen when you do push a stick, and really learn to make it not move. I hope that's helped. I'm not trying to be any kind of facetious or anything here, and that's really it. The first part is making it not move, and the second part is doing very simple maneuvers over and over and over until it becomes habit and you don't think about it, and then you move on. I hope that's helped. Thanks for watching.